A lot of people, including many well-known writers, whether they are in England, they're throughout Europe, they're in the States, when they pay attention to the Prem, a lot of people were saying, and again, they lost against Aston Villa at home. A lot of people don't remember that when they started this campaign, that, you know what, Arsene Wenger needs to get out, and we saw the fans rant outside of the Emirates. But slowly he has turned a corner. Granted, he brought in Mesut Ozil, who has been nothing but a savior, it seems like, for this club. What does it feel like as a passionate fan? I mean, like, I sense it in your heart, and I understand your mind when you're talking about Arsenal, that it's just like, it's like turning on a light in your head, and you just sort of you're so incredibly passionate about it. So let me ask you this. When you see the transformation from the beginning of the season, the fans rallying to try and get Wenger out, and then suddenly he transforms the culture, and they're winning once again. I mean, what is that like, and did you ever buy into the fact that Arsene Wenger should be out at Arsenal?
I've made a very personal video called Dear Arsene, where I was trying to level with the side, with the tactics that were being used, with the financial irregularities that seemed to be around. It's got to be said, though, that after last year's fourth place finish and a fantastic run of form that took us back into the Champions League ahead of Gareth Bale on the last day, a dramatic last day, we did lose that opening game to Villa, but the immediate response and the unity and camaraderie that's been shown, the atmosphere has improved at the Emirates. They won 10 games on the trot after the Villa defeat. And although we've had a little blip where we've been defeated by United, Napoli and now City, I think that this season you've seen the results of an almost opposite, a polar opposite effect to what's happened at Tottenham. They've literally tried to build a new side after getting rid of their best player, whilst we've been able to keep hold of our best players for the first time in yonks and attract a world-class talent like Mesut Ozil, who can really make the difference. Even if he does go disappearing for 75 minutes of a game, he has the ability to thread through an incredible pass that's going to leave our man Ollie or someone else like Aaron Ramsey, who's been on absolute fire, to come good.
Oh, yeah, Arsenal against Bayern. Go ahead.
Well, for the second year in a row, we meet Bayern Munich in the last 16, and after last year's dramatic 3-1 defeat in the first leg, we did ourselves no favours, and even though we went to the Allianz Arena and became one of the few teams to ever beat the German champions in their home ground, it was totally meaningless. And when you look back on it now, a lot of people say that Bayern Munich went into the game knowing that they could concede 2 goals and get away with it, as Arsenal did this time around against Napoli. However, losing to Napoli has obviously put us in a situation where we're finishing second in the group, and we are now, basically going to be playing at the hands of the best in the world. There's no denying that Bayern Munich are there or thereabouts, and Pep Guardiola has brought a more direct attacking style to them. So, in my opinion, they're more dangerous than they were before. That said, Arsenal were a totally new entity with this newfound camaraderie and a midfield which is definitely in the top 3 in Europe at the moment. They've gone to Germany and beaten Dortmund already, and I see no reason why they can't do it in Bayern again, especially now that we've seen another English team in Manchester City go there and get the points. Disappointed that Pellegrini didn't push his men to get 4-2 so that City would have topped the group, but it seems like he was totally or blissfully unaware of that situation. They themselves have landed a tough one in Barcelona, but to concentrate on Arsenal for a second.
Yes.
It's a time where we're really going to need to see the beginnings of Olivier Giroud again, because for me, he's gone missing in the last few games. He, in fact, hasn't scored a goal for 444 minutes. Oh. And if you count the 2 goals that he scored prior to those minutes, those hours of play without a goal, we're talking about a penalty against Southampton and a foolish error from Artur Burac, which has led him in to be able to tap in to an open goal from a yard. So for me, I need to see more more clinical finishing from a striker who we've really been dependent on, not only to get the goals, but also to link midfield. And more importantly, he's the very first point of our defence. So if he doesn't turn up and he isn't chasing down that last man or backing up to the goalkeeper trying to win the ball off him again, it's totally pointless. Our whole tactic goes out of the window, and we will stand no chance against a side who are literally trying to dominate Europe. And, to be fair to them, they've been immense at home. They're unbeaten. No, they lost their first game at home for over 148 games. A phenomenal record. Mm-hmm. And Pep Guardiola will have aspirations to become the second manager to have won the Champions League with a second side. So for me, absolutely huge game, but Arsenal can get something from it if, one, Giroud turns up, not only with clinical finishing, but also with that beginnings of the defensive pressure. Absolutely crucial to Arsenal's game.